Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Slay&Shade, and today we're going to do Miss Kristen Leanne. And I'm going to start at the beginning and work our way up to her most recent ignorant post on Twitter. So we're going to talk shit and we're going to put on some makeup. If you want me to do a Slay&Shade on anyone in particular, just leave it down below in the comments. I already put on my foundation and my concealer. I used Huda Beauty and BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Concealer. And I'm going to do a look today that is inspired by Jackie Aina. I don't have any Too Faced palettes, but she recently reviewed the Too Faced Festival collection, and I loved her eye look. So I'm going to try to recreate it with the Kat Von D palette. And I'm going to be going into Baptism, Rosary, and either Cathedral or Heaven. I think I might do Heaven in the center here. This is an awkward palette, but it's like either you love it or you hate it, and I just love it. I think it's fantastic. I love the shades. It can be a little bit confusing the way that they're set up, but I personally like it. So I'm gonna go in with a, let's see, I'm gonna go in with just a large shadow brush just to put Baptism all over the lid. So Kristen Leanne, if you don't know, is a beauty YouTuber. She has a little over 500,000 subscribers. A lot of people have never heard of her though, which is kind of interesting because she has a huge following. And she is known for doing cruelty-free only reviews, which is really cool. Now, I thought that I hadn't heard of her before, but when the Tarte Shape Tape Foundation came out, I was watching like everybody's review on it just to sort of see what they were saying about the shade range. And I remember she popped up in my recommended. So I was subscribed to her, but like totally forgot about her. And I think I subscribed to her, it had to have been within the past few months. It was before the Tarte Shape video because she came up in my recommended, and when I went there I was like, oh, I'm already subscribed to her. So I'm guessing it was because I'm trying to go cruelty free, and that's probably why I ended up subscribing to her, because she does all cruelty free stuff. Her Tarte Shape Tape review was essentially the same review that everyone else gave about the shade range and how it was bullshit, but she still reviewed it. And the way that she said it was sort of, I feel the same way everybody else does. Like, she actually didn't really care, but it was almost like she had to say that. So I thought that's when I first saw her. But a friend on my Facebook reminded me when I posted that I was going to do her for a Slay&Shade. She was like, that's that bitch that went on that like rant when she was in Sydney, Australia. I was like, oh my God. And I haven't heard anybody else talk about this. So this happened a couple of years ago, and a friend of mine had shared the article on Facebook, and we were like talking shit on her. So her and either her boyfriend or her husband, whomever he is, all I know is that dude has like a green beard, and the only person that should have ever had color in their beard is Dimebag. Sorry, he looks ridiculous. So anyway, so she was in Australia, and let me find a good brush here. I think I'm gonna go in with this BH Studio Pro, and I'm gonna put Rosary all over the lid. I don't know if I'll do like a dark outer corner. Jackie didn't. I love her. Jackie. Anyway, so I'm just going to go in with a crease brush right now and then see what happens. So anyway, so her and her partner were in Sydney, and she was refused entry to a few of the clubs there. And I remember this article called her an American model and YouTuber. Everybody's a fucking model now with the internet, you know. So anyway, so the reason why she didn't get into some of these places were either they had a dress code or it was because of her tattoos. Now listen, I am all about body modifications, tattoos, you do you. I love it. I love to look at the artwork, you know. But sometimes people with a lot of body modifications can be kind of like really snotty. Like they think that just because you're looking at them, you're judging them. And it's like, no, I'm not used to, for example, I saw this guy at Sheetz the one time that had a Hello Kitty tattoo on his face. And I was looking at him and he looked at me like I was some asshole, like I was judging him. No, you just don't see a lot of people with face tattoos, and you don't see a lot of them on men that are Hello Kitty. Or this dude that had a piercing that was basically like a knitting needle, like through his nose. So some people are like, oh, people judge me. Well, why do you have all this artwork on your body where everybody can see it? Give me a fucking break. We're just looking at you because we want to see what it looks like. You know, it's not a bad thing. It's like, why do you have, you know, a knitting needle through your nose if you don't think people are going to look at you and then be like, why is everybody staring at me? Get the fuck over yourselves. So because of her tattoos, she was refused entry. And she acted like she was discriminated against, like a person of color in like the height of slavery. It was absolutely fucking ridiculous. Oh, nobody should be discriminating against me for my looks, and I feel persecuted, and all this fucking bullshit. Meanwhile, either the dress code didn't allow for it, or because she's ignorant and she never knows anything, it's because there is a biker gang there. They call them bikies, at least according to this article, and they're known for having neck and chest tattoos. So businesses in Sydney, so that they can avoid the conflict that usually comes with the bikies, don't allow a lot of people in that have the signature like neck tattoo and chest tattoo thing. So that's why she wasn't allowed entry. And she still didn't care. I mean, she made it out to seem like, oh my God, you know, I was so discriminated against and poor me. You know, meanwhile, she's like a hot blonde white chick. Like it's just crazy. So that was the first time I actually heard about her. And more recently, Huda Beauty released the third highlighting palette, the 3D highlighting palette. They have two others, and this one is specifically catered towards people of color. Amazing, right? Well, Miss Leanne didn't really think so. So not only did she go onto Twitter, but she also went onto Instagram to say, in the picture of the swatches, those top 3 women being very fair, you know, skin women, they can't even wear this as a highlighter. Like, I can't even wear this. My skin is fair. So some people just thought, oh, you know, she's just complaining, because if you look at her social media, she complains a hell of a lot. So I took it the same way that most people did, though, was she's complaining that a product may not work for her. Meanwhile, she has like 3 million other highlighters that she can choose from, including ones that are sent to her for fucking free in PR, but she's gonna have this little, like, you know, little fit on Twitter over one fucking product. The other 2 palettes would work for her that are in this little series, so I don't know what the big deal is. So people went after her for it, and they were like, you know, pointing out, hey, you have a lot of options and people of color don't, so you need to get over yourself, basically. So then she posts, oh, it's such a bummer when people don't see your intentions or can't see how great your heart is. So after everybody pointed out that she was really ignorant, it's not like she took it back. She just acted like we all misunderstood her. And there was nothing at all to misunderstand about that tweet. I mean, she was complaining because she wasn't going to be able to use it, which is silly, because if you like the shade so much, if it's something different, if it's something that you don't have, you can always use products for other things. You can use those highlighter shades as a shadow topper, as a shadow on its own. You know, if you want it that badly and you're like, it won't work for me as a highlighter, oh no, just use it for something else, right? So, I mean, it really rubbed me the wrong way, because she shouldn't be so ignorant to social things that are going on and be so tone deaf about these things. And to think of somebody with like at least 500,000 of followers, the money that she's making on YouTube, the products that she gets for free, you would think that these people would have nothing to fucking complain about. But they're always finding something. Always. Okay, now that I got this in the crease, I want to take it all over my lid. Well, mainly on the outer and inner corners, but I want it to be more precise. So I'm trying to find sort of a denser brush here. We'll do this one. This is from the Crystal Quartz set, BH Cosmetics, my favorite. So I'm going to pack on this color in the inner corner here and the outer. I'm going to get it as dark as I can here. So anyway, so if people did misunderstand what she was saying, she didn't really clarify it. I mean, she was essentially like, oh, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying and you don't know how good my heart is. No, just an excuse. Just an excuse to be like, oh, but I didn't mean it that way. Well, you did. You did mean it that way. You were complaining because you couldn't use it. One fucking product. One product that may not work for you. And out of how many products that people of color have a hard time finding that will work for them. It's like almost every time you see like new shit coming out, it's like, oh, especially if it's like a highlighter or bronzer, you know, or blush, you know, it's like you can tell that some women of color or men of color are not going to be able to use those things. So instead of her, what I would have done, especially since she has such a big following, is I would have posted that picture and I would have said, this may not work as a highlighter for me, but these shades are beautiful. I am so about this product being geared towards people of color. It is amazing. And even though I may not be able to use it as a highlighter, I will totally buy this so that I can show you guys on my channel. That way, women of color that may watch me, then they can see what it looks like, you know, on their skin or as shadows, you know, and celebrate the fact that this, which it looks like a gorgeous product from Huda, is geared towards people of color, because the makeup industry ignores a huge demographic, which is people of color. You know, they are always, you know, they're always sort of not included, and most of the time they're an afterthought. And I don't think that, you know, some people get that. I just don't think that they see what the issues are with women of color and men of color in the makeup industry. I'm really trying to pack this on in here. Okay. I'm going to do the other eye now. So I did want to put some loose powder under my eyes in case I have some fallout. But this Kat Von D palette really doesn't give me too much. But just a precaution. I'm going to pack on a whole bunch underneath here just in case. All right. So instead of Kristen Leanne just being a fucking person, she had to make it about her. You know, and with a demographic, like I said, that's often just overlooked or they're an afterthought, it just came off very insensitive, and she made it all about her. Oh, poor me. I can't wear this. Oh my goodness. And like Jackie Ina tweeted out, oh, this is odd because usually I have the opposite thing happening because they can't find things that are just catered for them. Not from like the big brands, you know? So that's why when the Tarte Shape Tape was released, the foundation was released, it was like, what are they fucking doing? Like, how could they be so stupid to not include darker shades? It was absolutely insane. So that was the most recent drama with her. But if you take a look at her channel, I mean, it may just be me. It's not like I already didn't like her, really. It's just that her channel is so goddamn boring. Oh my God. Not like mine is anything special. I'm just saying, like, vlogs, like, I almost threw up on somebody. She didn't. Like, clickbaity kind of stuff and, you know, just ridiculous. Never have I ever shit. and all the trends, you know, all the trends you could think of. She does all that stuff. And I mean, I think it's great that she is all about the cruelty free. I'm going in with Heaven with my finger, and I'm going to put this just on the center of my lid. I really like this Heaven shade. It's really pretty. Just a nice little dusting of it on your whole lid is a nice, pretty look. There we go. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Don't know what I'm going to do as far as like eyeliner goes, because my eyes are feeling a little bit sensitive today. I need to get my new contacts. So I think I might darken up my outer corners just a little bit here. So another entitled, self-absorbed beauty guru. It's just, how do these people find something to complain about all the fucking time? It doesn't matter. They have so much money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they get all these products for free. It just doesn't matter. They're always going to find something. I think I'm going to go in with this small pencil brush, and I'm going to use this black shade up here, Sabbath, and I'm going to go into the outer corners here. And I know Jackie didn't do this, but I think it'll lend a little definition to my eyes, since I'm not going to really do much of a liner. So I don't, you know, even with all of this, I don't think that Kristen is racist. No, I don't. I don't think that she is. I mean, and that's kind of not really my business, because I'm not a person of color. So if a person of color took it that way, then they took it that way. That's them, you know, because I can't say how I would feel about it if I were a person of color, because I'm not. I think that it was really insensitive, and I think it was ignorant. And I think she should have at least said, like, hey, you know, I heard, you know, from my fans, like, I know that you guys are upset with me over what I said, and I'm sorry. This is actually what I meant. But you know what I will say? I will say that I was one of quite a few of my friends that posted on that tweet and the tweet that she said, oh, it's such a bummer when people don't know how like great your heart is or whatever. And she did not seem to be deleting comments, and she did not seem to be deleting or blocking people. So that was kind of a shocker, because you know that these beauty gurus, they cannot take any kind of criticism whatsoever. So it was kind of unusual. I was like, uh-oh, I'm gonna get blocked like any second now. Here it comes, here it comes. I'm gonna take this beautiful dome brush from BH Cosmetics. This is the Smoke and Mirrors brush. And I'm gonna brush away this powder, and I'm gonna start working on some shadow on my bottom lash line here. Woo! Sometimes you put too much powder on. So yeah, so I don't think that her comment was necessarily racist. I just think that she's kind of a fucking idiot. But she could have, like, sorry, this is so uncomfortable. My back is killing me. I'm trying to find like a nice position to sit in here. But it would have been nice to have her be like, I get it, guys. But I think it's hard for them to admit when they are wrong. Oh, I'm going to use this from the metallic pink set, and I'm going to go back in. I have to flip this over. It's the only thing about this palette is like it's kind of awkward if you're going to try to use the mirror, you know, on one side. It's just not going to happen. So you have to like set it down. And I'm going to work that rosary shade underneath just a bit. Just like so. I'm really into wearing shadow on my bottom lash line now, and I used to always hate it because maybe it was just that I took it down too far and it looked ridiculous, but I really like it now. I used to just think it looked kind of odd on me, but I really kind of like it now. So what are your thoughts on her? I mean, did you know who she was before all of this happened? Did you care? Like, what do you think about her kind of not really saying anything? I mean, I think that what she did accompanied along with how she reacted about not being allowed into those places in Sydney kind of gives off this vibe of her being entitled. And if something happens where there's the tiniest bit of something negative because of the way she looks, she wants the attention. Woo! Because she was around that time, because that happened in like 2016, she was trying to get all the fucking attention for that shit. But acting like doing it under the guise of I care about people, but really it was just all about her, you know? She will never know the struggles that people actually face. It's not being allowed in a club because a gang, a known gang, causes a bunch of fucking bullshit. So, you know, they don't want you in there just in case. I mean, how you can compare that to something that's like legitimate, you know, that is awful, like slavery, is fucking insane. I mean, just crazy. There is this glue on here. So I got this, this is the little sample of Great Lash from Maybelline. I got this as a, I believe it's, isn't it Maybelline? I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out who this is by. Well, anyway, it's Great Lash. Yeah, it's Maybelline. It was actually attached to the Garnier micellar water that I bought. So I'm going to go in with this. I kind of like, I prefer sample sizes when it comes to mascara because I like that the wand is shorter and I can really get it in there. And you are supposed to toss your mascara like after a few months. I think it's like 3, they say. So you have like the perfect amount in a little kind of tester size. But I do like this. I mean, it gives me some length, but it's not crazy. And it doesn't really like clump together or anything. So I really dig it. So I'm going to go into my only product from Makeup Revolution, which is an exact replica of either a Charlotte Tilbury or Bobbi Brown Shimmer Brick. This is the Makeup Revolution Shimmer Brick. Much, much cheaper. I couldn't afford the other. So I got this one. And I think I got this on Amazon and it was like $4.99. So I'm going to go into these 2 top shades. And this is my favorite highlighter brush. It's from AOA. Their brushes, seriously, I got this whole set. There were 12 brushes and let's see. There were 12 brushes and I got them for like $10. So I highly recommend them. And I may do a little on my nose. I tend to leave my nose alone, especially down here. I have a very squishy nose. It's like I have no cartilage and I can go, can't believe I just did that because it's usually so embarrassing. So I usually do just a little bit to get like a little glow on the forehead. And I'm gonna go in, I think, with this Milani blush. And I'm gonna take the Smoke and Mirrors BH Cosmetics brush for the blush. I love these Milani brushes. They're really, really nice. Just a little pink. So you guys are going to have to let me know what you think of Kristen. I mean, watch her channel a little bit. Keep in mind her reaction about being turned away from those clubs. Just keep that in mind when you're watching her. I'm going to go into Becca and Chrissy Teigen. I'm going to take this. I'm just going to bronze up a little bit, add a little more color. This brush was in my current favorite brushes. I just love it. I think it it just does all the work for you. Love it. This is a real Techniques brush here. Get those chins, get those chins. Do a little bit down here. And I think for my lip, I'm gonna go in with Mannequin from Jeffree Star because that's like my go-to sort of like neutral shade, and I really love it. If I can find it, let me see here. Okay. Let's see here. There it is. I found it. Okay, so, I mean, as far as Kristen being racist, I don't get that vibe from her. I just feel like she just kind of doesn't get it. And that's like an issue. This isn't just specific to her either, because there are a lot of beauty YouTubers that are like this, you know? And I do have to give her credit, though, for not deleting comments and not blocking people. I just hope that it doesn't happen again. But I think that now that it happened, people are going to be watching her like a lot more closely, unfortunately. I'm going in with the Maybelline Master Fix Setting Spray. I really like this. I can actually tell a difference when I use this. I can tell a big difference. Like, my makeup does last a whole lot longer. And so I think that's about it. I got all my makeup is together, and this is the look. It is not as good as Jackie's. She's a fucking goddess, you know, but I tried to replicate. If you go to her Too Faced Festival collection review, it was something I'm going for, but not, I don't have the same exact shades, but I just like that little pop of color in the center. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Let me know, like I said, if you want me to do a Slay&Shade on anybody else. I do have a few coming up that I have in mind. One that I've been working on since I thought of doing a Slay&Shade, and it'll be pretty interesting. And follow me on Twitter. You know, I'm always on there bitching and calling out some people, and we have a really good time, me, Spectator, everybody. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Love and hugs. Bye.